So in the weeks right after the 2001 dot-com crash and, 9/11, retail sales just understandably plummeted everywhere.
Right. Yeah, completely across the board.
Yeah, but as we were digging through all the consumer data for today's deep dive, there was this one tiny specific item that was just flying off the shelves.
It is honestly one of the most fascinating behavioral quirks in modern economics, I think, because while people were, canceling vacations or holding off on buying new cars, Estée Lauder's chairman, Leonard Lauder, noticed something weird.
Wait, what did he notice?
Well, he saw that his company's lipstick sales were actually surging.
Surging, like going up.
Exactly, going up significantly, and that is the whole mission for today's deep dive.
Okay.
We are unpacking what people call the lipstick effect.
Right, and we want to see what that reveals about our psychology during a downturn and, well, whether it's actually a reliable economic indicator for you to follow.
Yeah, it is a great concept because it really bridges that gap between, abstract macroeconomic data and what we actually see happening on the ground.
Well, let's start with Lauder's initial observation then, because, frankly, it completely defies basic consumer logic to me.
How so?
I mean, if I am worried about the broader economy or maybe getting laid off, makeup feels like the easiest discretionary spending to just cut right out of the budget.
You would definitely think so, right?
Yeah, so why aren't those sales moving in lockstep with the sinking economy?
Well, it is basically because human nature doesn't operate on a strict spreadsheet. The psychological desire to, treat yourself, to feel some sense of normalcy or indulgence, that just doesn't vanish because your disposable income drops.
Oh, so you still want the treat?
Exactly. You still want it. What does change, though, is the scale of the indulgence. So when a $1,000 designer handbag is suddenly completely out of the question, a premium $25 lipstick transforms into this highly accessible luxury.
Oh, wow. Okay, so it is essentially a recalibration of opportunity cost.
Yes, exactly that.
Like, you recognize your resources are scarce, money doesn't grow on trees, so you make this deliberate trade-off. Buying a burger means you're choosing not to buy a steak, but you are still going out to eat.
Right. You protect your downside and still get that psychological reward. It is like how people stop booking 2-week trips to Europe during a recession.
Oh, yeah, but suddenly all those little boutique hotels a few hours away are just completely booked up for the weekend.
Yeah. You are trading the massive splurge for a smaller, safer escape. And that is a perfect example of what drives the substitution effect.
A substitution effect.
Yeah. You aren't eliminating the category of luxury entirely. You are substituting a highly expensive version with a much more affordable alternative,
Right.
one that fits your new financial reality.
So you still get the dopamine hit of the purchase, just at a lower price point.
Exactly. And if consumers are making those defensive substitutions in their makeup bags and their weekend plans, that behavior definitely ripples across the rest of the economy.
I was going to say, what other industries benefit from this exact same shift? Because I'm guessing this explains why it is so hard to get a table at a mid-tier chain restaurant during a recession.
Or a decent seat at the movies, yeah. Fast food and cinema historically thrive when budgets tighten up. You might skip the 5-star anniversary dinner, but you still really want a night out.
Right, so you go get a burger and catch a movie.
Precisely. And these more affordable alternatives function as what economists actually call inferior goods.
Inferior goods, meaning they're worse?
Not in quality, no. It just means counterintuitively that demand for them actually goes up as consumer income goes down. They benefit from that exact same psychological shift Lauder observed at the cosmetics counter.
Okay, but wait. If this consumer shift is so incredibly predictable, and Lauder proved it in 2001, and we saw it again during the 2008 financial crisis, why aren't people using it?
Using it how?
Well, why aren't everyday people or algorithmic traders using lipstick or movie ticket sales as a leading indicator to just beat Wall Street? It seems like the ultimate real-time investment cheat code.
Yeah, I mean, the underlying theory is rock solid, definitely, but the mechanics of the data sort of kill its utility for investors.
Right, how so?
Because unlike GDP or unemployment rates, which are, standardized and published by the government on a really strict schedule, granular retail data just isn't publicly broadcast in real time.
Oh, right, because Estée Lauder isn't putting out a press release every single time they sell a tube of red lipstick at the mall.
Exactly. By the time quarterly earnings actually reflect that massive spike in cosmetics or fast food, the recession is already totally obvious to everyone.
Ah, I see. So it is an incredible mirror for understanding consumer psychology in hindsight, but completely useless as a crystal ball for your portfolio.
Unfortunately, yes. It is way less of a stock picker's tool and much more of a map of our own psychological resilience, really.
Which is fascinating. Even when the financial walls are closing in, we will find a way to indulge. We just change the packaging of the treat.
Yeah, we adapt. We instinctively protect our budgets, but we also protect our morale.
Well, that leaves you with something really interesting to think about as we wrap up this deep dive. Our lives and our shopping habits are increasingly happening online now, right? Way more than in brick-and-mortar stores.
Oh, absolutely.
So when the next major economic downturn hits, what do you think is the modern digital equivalent of a tube of lipstick? What is that tiny $20 digital luxury you will turn to when the big purchases are completely off the table?